Hello, my beautiful people. It's Renee from Renew Your Kinesiology in Kiama. How are you? I know I haven't been live for, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks now, and I do apologize, but I was having a bit of an upgrade, and then I was a little bit unwell last week, but I'm back on track again today. Since on Saturday, so I'm back in business and feeling great. How are you all? I know it's been a long time. So I'm going to talk to you today about the liquid crystal of the day, which is rhodonite. And rhodonite is all about patience. And the animal for rhodonite is the frog, and the essential oil is marjoram. I always say it wrong. Marjoram it is. Anyway, that is the liquid crystal for today. But before I talk about the liquid crystal, I'm going to talk about patience first. So, patience is quite a thing to master, to be quite honest. And I always considered myself a patient person until I was a patient a couple of years ago in hospital, as many of you know. I had some surgery a couple of years ago, and I was in hospital for, I don't know, 8-10 weeks. And that's when I really learnt about patience. Because when I was in hospital, when you need something, you need it pretty much straight away. So you press your buzzer. Now, as many of you know, that there's not as many nurses as there used to be. So A, the nurses are understaffed, and B, it doesn't matter how many times I rang my bell, if a nurse was busy with another patient, she couldn't come and see me even if she wanted to. And the day I actually realised patience was when I was really, really unwell in hospital, and I had a nurse, and she had showered me, and I just put on all my fresh pajamas and done everything, and she just made my bed, and I was unwell, and I hope this isn't too much information, but I vomited all over the bed, all over myself, everything. And the nurse then had to re-shower me, redress me, because I'd had my huge surgery, and then remake my bed. She was with me for over an hour. That was the day I learnt to be patient, because that nurse spent an hour with me. And meanwhile, other people would have been pressing their buzzers, but she was in the middle of me having a crisis, basically, and she had to do all of those things again that took her almost 3/4 of an hour. Then we had to repeat the same thing again. So I then realised that if I was in pain and I pressed my buzzer, I might have to wait 40 minutes to an hour because there's no nurses available to come to me. And so that's when I learned to be patient. And patience is something that everyone should really try to aim for. Hi, Kiralee, how are you? So patience is something that you should really try to aim for, because instead of getting frustrated in traffic or just in general in life and being impatient, it only makes things worse, and it only makes you more cranky in the end because you're not being patient. So long story short, that's how I learned about patience. Now, let's see what Rhodonite has to say about patience. I hope you're well, Kiralee. I'm so happy that you're here. So, this is Rhodonite. This is the card Rhodonite. And the liquid, the color rays of Rhodonite are pink, white, black, and red. So you can see those colors on the card quite clearly. The animal is a frog. Now, I don't know how to wave back to you, Kiralee, but I'm waving. Maybe I'll just press wave. There you go. So I suppose frogs are patient. They sit in their trees or do what they do. And the essential oil is sweet marjoram. So let's talk about the physical first for Rhodonite. So Rhodonite helps with any ear conditions. Okay, so ear infections, loss of hearing, all of that sort of stuff. It helps with panic attacks, and that is another thing that I will talk about another day, but there is a rise in panic attacks in people, and hospitals at the moment and GPs are really busy at the moment with people self-diagnosing themselves with post-traumatic stress disorder, ADHD, and panic attacks and things like that. They're doctor Googling, and it's really causing chaos in their medical system. So we'll talk about panic attacks another day. It helps with throat infections, okay, so tonsillitis, sore throats, even speaking your truth, basically. You can look at throat infections as not being able to speak or say what you need to say. It also helps with inflammation of joints, arthritis, which goes hand in hand with inflammation of joints. And if you are up in New South Wales at the moment, a lot of people would probably have inflammation due to the humidity that we are under, and that can cause, your joints to sort of swell and get inflamed. It helps with cuts and abrasions. It helps with scarring. Oh, very good. I'll get onto that. I've got a lovely scar down my tummy. Infertility, and mixed with gold, the liquid crystal gold, it is really good. Rhodonite and gold are really good for multiple sclerosis, which is deterioration of the muscles. Now I'll go on to the spiritual aspects, I think, before I go on to the mental and emotional. So the spiritual. Rhodonite grounds the pink ray into the physical, so the physical body. Most pink stones are clear and simply activate the heart without grounding. The grounded approach of Rhodonite places an unconditional love element into even the most physical of Earth's activities. It's a good emergency stone or rescue remedy, treating shock and panic. It increases the effectiveness of sound-based meditations, and the use of mantras. So also another thing that Rhodonite's really good at is, when you listen to music and you sing along to the words of the songs, a lot of songs have meanings. So if you actually listen to the words, you will understand the song a lot better than just, bopping along and singing to the song, as it comes on the radio or your iPod or whatever it is. So it actually helps you to understand the meaning of songs and the words in songs. Now we will go on to the mental and emotional side of things. So the possible negative things, or why you would need rhodonite more so. I don't like using the word negative condition. But rhodonite is very good for impatient and unwilling to, if you are impatient and unwilling to place love into everyday events in life. So by using it, or by looking at the card, it helps give you patience and enduring, so you can endure and understand. And that's what I was talking about at the start. You know, you have to understand other people's circumstances before you become impatient with them, because you don't know what's going on with other people unless you ask or they tell you. Rhodonite helps when you feel like life is hard, okay? And life can be hard, but it doesn't have to be hard. You make it harder. You can make your life harder for yourself. There are aspects of life that are hard, but you can actually make those aspects a little bit easier by being more caring to yourself and more patient, and getting rid of the belief that life is hard. It also helps when you believe that love is to surrender the power to remain peace. So in other words, if instead of speaking up and speaking to your partner, you will surrender your power. So you will give your power to the partner or the friendship or whatever it is, instead of speaking your truth to stop arguments. And that means that you're not saying your bit and the other person is then taking over. So if you do don't speak your truth and surrender in an argument, or don't even say anything to negate an argument from happening, just so you can have a bit of peace, like that's just crazy. So you really need to work on speaking your truth in any relationship, friendship, working relationships, physical relationships, loving relationships, all of that sort of stuff. Okay, so rhodonite helps find love in formally mundane daily events. So remember, when life is hard, it actually helps you find things that you love about life, so that life doesn't feel mundane. Oh, I've got to go to work again. Oh, I've got to go to the gym again. Oh, I've got to do this. I've got to do the washing again. You can actually find joy in those things. Like, instead of working out 7 days a week, doing whatever you're doing, you can mix it up a bit so you actually still enjoy the exercise, because exercise shouldn't be a punishment. It should be actually something you enjoy. So even going for a walk and walking 1,000,000 miles an hour just to get your walk done, instead of slowing down and actually taking in your surroundings, looking at the flowers, looking at the ocean, looking at whatever, then it becomes more enjoyable. Sometimes you do want a power walk, but other times, you can slow down a bit, and then your walk won't feel mundane. If you have an aversion to change, so you don't like change, rhodonite is your one, your go-to, because it helps you to accept change. And last but not least, if you are I've already said this, but if you are unable to hear the truth or words in music, so it helps you to hear and recognize the true voice in music. All right. Now, I was going to read the long message, but I'm only going to do the short one because I've been on here for a while and people might get sick of me. So, all right. Just close your eyes and listen to this. I'm sorry I don't have my singing bowl with me. The gentle breeze of love that I am will bless you on all levels. Through me, even the most physical can possess the pink ray, as I seek to ground and anchor unconditional love into all. Join me, you will become my Join me, you will become my conductor, my love overflowing to all that crosses your path. Be patient, great being of light, for with love there is no beginning nor end. There simply is no need. There is only now. That's perfect. So that's another way of thinking about being impatient. Like, there's no beginning and there's no end. All you have is the now. So if you're impatient about something in the future, or you're impatient about something in the past, I don't know how you could be impatient about the past, but anyway, you can, obviously. You're not even in the present. If you're thinking about the future, you're aiming for anxiety, and if you're thinking about the past, you're setting yourself up for depression, because all we really have is here and now. This day, at this moment, at 4:17 in the afternoon, that is where we are, and we need to acknowledge that every day we just need to be present. There's no point worrying about what happened yesterday. There's no point worrying about what's going to happen tomorrow, because tomorrow never comes. So just be present, and that's about it. So thanks very much, Kiralee, for watching me the whole time. I really appreciate it, and I can just see your smiley little face like in my head. So thank you for watching. You have been listening to or watching Renee from Renew You Kinesiology in Kiama. I am taking clients again, so don't hesitate to call 0416 825 370, and I will do my best to accommodate your times and needs. All right, have a lovely day and afternoon and evening, and I will see you again tomorrow, hopefully. I will start being a bit more consistent now that I'm feeling a little bit better, a lot better. So thank you, and remember to have some patience, and have a lovely day. Bye. Thanks for watching, Kiralee. Bye. Oh, how do I turn this thing off? I don't know how to turn it off. Oh dear. Stop. No. Bear with me. Oh, there must be a way to turn it off. Do I press that?